aunties, uncles, friends, and allies, Happy New Year and a very happy Lunar New Year later this month. My name is 𝗙će𝗶𝘆 and welcome to another episode of 𝗦𝘁𝗨 Live, where you'll receive accessible, pertinent information about health, mental health, safety concerns, and community events. For those of you new to this broadcast, this information that's presented in 𝗦𝘁𝗨 Live is particular to the Asian community, yet still relevant to the greater Austin community. Today, we'll start with an exercise to reflect on last year so we can mindfully enter 2023. I'll also talk about an opportunity for you to give your feedback on a basic needs services survey to find out what you think city funding should go towards, and a reminder for you to keep some emergency supplies on hand during winter freezes. As you know, our broadcast is available both on Austin Public Health's Facebook page and the new YouTube channel, which is much easier to access and share with your family and friends. Please save and subscribe on YouTube to the 𝗦𝘁𝗨 Live playlist to easily find the show in the future. And we'll also drop the link in the chat. Now, let's just sit with what's showing up for us right now before we begin today's mindfulness exercise. As you sit with your emotions, if anything that comes up feels unsettling or uncomfortable, please take care as you see fit. And if it means to pause the following practice at any point, then please do so. Typically, at this time of the year, we think about our New Year's resolutions, and this can mean different things to different people. This is not a normal cultural practice for many Asians living in the East, and for some of us here in the West. However, in America, this has become a yearly ritual for many. Resolutions are a list of goals we want to accomplish throughout the year, and we start this in the beginning of every new year. I definitely have a long list of things that I'd like to change, do better, or even add to my life throughout the year, not just every January. And sometimes it's not so easy to accomplish these goals when I haven't really taken the time to understand my own patterns of behavior when it comes to accomplishing goals, big or small. And this takes a little bit of work and self-reflection to move forward. So instead, I'd like to keep our focus on how we're feeling right now by reflecting on the past year. What do I mean by reflection? I'm glad you asked. I'll ask a few questions for you to contemplate or think about, and it might be a good idea to write down your thoughts in a journal and do this simple exercise every year or even every month. There's no hard and fast rule about when you can take time to reflect on your past. Just remember that we want to use the reflections of the past to enrich our present and future, and not get stuck there if there's a lot of trauma or negative emotions attached to your certain events. Many of us who identify as Asians or Asian American may not be used to this kind of a reflection exercise, or may not even have the luxury of time to put towards this. So I urge that you take just a few minutes to try this out, because you might find it fun. You might find it useful or necessary for your own growth and development. So I'll present some questions for you to ponder. And then in the next episode, I'll talk about how to put some of these things into action for the new year based on your reflections. So let's take a moment to center ourselves and calm our minds and bodies by breathing normally. You may close your eyes or just turn your gaze looking downward to ease yourself into contemplation and to minimize distractions. Take a long, deep breath in through the nose, filling up the belly like a balloon, and then slowly breathing out the nose as the belly falls back towards the spine. Relax your face and your shoulders, and continue taking long, deep breaths on your own. Now is a good time to grab a piece of paper and pen if you would like to write these reflections down for yourself. Otherwise, you can also just stay in your relaxed state and think about your answers as I ask you 6 questions to reflect on. So number 1, what was the biggest lesson learned in 2022? For example, my biggest lesson learned was I realized how much having unnecessary material objects in the house can add clutter not only in my physical space, but it affects my mental capacity as well. So I'd like to organize my house and get rid of some things that I'm not using, as well as clean out my closets more regularly. Two, what was the best thing you did for someone else this year? Number 3, what was the hardest thing you had to do this year? Take a moment and breathe in between these questions. Number 4, do you feel you took enough time to care for yourself? Five, what are you most grateful for in the year of 2022? And lastly, number 6, describe 2022 in just 3 words. I'll give you an example. My 3 words to describe 2022 would be wonderful, scary, and insightful. Take a long, deep breath again, and breathe out. Thanks so much for joining me. These were a few questions we can ask ourselves to reflect on the past year, past month, or anything that we feel needs some reflection. Mindfulness isn't only about how to connect with our breath and body, but it's also a way to connect with our emotions, our actions, and the motivations behind it. Once we begin looking inward into ourselves, our own behaviors, it helps to identify any behavioral patterns that we see that serves our purpose in a positive way, or it may not serve our purpose because of its negative impact. So this exercise helps us gain insight to the choices we're making and then make changes for the better. Now that we've gained some grounding for the new year, let's talk about some ways for you to engage with Austin Public Health. We want to learn from you what kinds of basic needs services you need in your community. But first, what does basic needs services mean? Basic needs services essentially support low-income individuals and families with the most basic needs for daily living, such as food, utilities, household supplies, and personal care. Basic needs services are often emergency or short-term services provided during or after a crisis or following a prolonged period of extremely limited services or resources. We are asking Austin Travis County residents to complete this survey to help us determine where to focus funding for the community. The surveys are available in many languages, and we'll include the link in the comments section. So please take a look and complete the survey by February 3rd, because your voice and feedback matter. Thankfully, last week was nice and warm compared to the freeze we had in December. Yet we still have another month to go where we may have another freeze. So make sure that you check your list of things to prepare for the future. Here are some emergency supplies to have at home, some tips, and some resources to help. Here's what you need to have on hand: a water meter key to access your meter box if necessary, insulation for indoor and outdoor pipes, hose bib, which covers your outdoor faucets, battery-powered radio and flashlights during power outages, a clean water supply of 1 gallon per person per day for at least 7 days, a basic toolkit, and a first aid kit. For more tips and how-to videos, you can go to the link in the comments. And there you can also print out these tips in many languages. Lastly, a COVID update. Our community level has gone back up to medium, which means there are more people with COVID-19 and who are being admitted into the hospitals. So we urge you to wear your masks, get vaccinated and boosted, and stay home if you're sick. When there's a new variant like the one circulating now called XBB, it's important to take care. Let's say goodbye for now to 2022 with all of our reflections in mind and all the lessons learned. And many of you are also preparing for the Lunar New Year, which falls on January 22nd of this year. May this year of the rabbit bring you much positivity, good health, and peaceful moments. Now remember, we release new episodes of My API Live on the second Saturday of every month at 10 a.m. You can view the latest and older videos on both the Austin Public Health Facebook page and our new YouTube channel. Thanks so much for joining me today. Be safe, be well, and be kind to one another.